Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, it's been a while since I've had an interview, but I got one today. Today I'm interviewing Andria Humpert. Now you have,
Hi, Eric.
How are you? Don't be nervous, be yourself.
Okay, good to be here.
Your father is Bill Humpert, the famous Northern Kentucky attorney. Is that where you got all your height from? Because he was kind of tall.
Probably, yes, yeah.
Okay. Now, introduce yourself to the ladies and gentlemen of the American Jury and Bulldog Nation. You are what and what cause? What's the name of your organization?
So I am a just normal, regular citizen. I live in Edgewood, Kentucky, and I am lucky to be a part of a group of numerous liberty lovers and just regular people across Kenton, Boone, and Campbell counties. And we want to make a difference and get involved in the local scene here in our community.
What's the name of the organization? Make America Free Again.
Make Americans Free Again.
MAFA.
Yep, MAFA.
Okay.
Now, we might have to edit this, Sabrina. Sorry, this is breaking news.
It's okay.
As of yesterday, the people that are over Make Americans Free Again do not like that we're going away from the medical tyranny focus.
Really?
And so
that was your tyranny? You had a medical tyranny focus?
Yes.
That's right down my alley. I'm all about medical tyranny.
So
we're not editing anything. Go ahead.
we have to edit this. They're going to
Go
be
ahead.
mad that we talked about
Go
this.
ahead.
So we're in the process of renaming our group.
What's going to be the new name of the group?
We don't know. We're still brainstorming.
You sound like the ladies at the office. They can never make up their minds on where they're going to eat lunch.
Well,
and I have to decide, you can't make up a freaking name like Liberty Lovers.
This literally just happened like last evening.
That's great.
So
we're breaking this news.
Yeah.
There's fractures everywhere.
There are.
Okay, so tell me your perspective and what went down relative to the Kenton County Republican organizational meeting. We have put together a video.
Yep.
We've airing the video. We hope everybody shares the video,
Yes.
which was a great telling the story. But kind of tell us, your 2 cents worth about all that went down. Your voice was captured on that. I remember hearing it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Point of information.
Every time I hear
You were ignored by Weebles Wobbles Scott Kimmick.
Yeah, he reminded me that he runs the meeting, not me. So
Yes.
he reminded me of that. But
I run this meeting.
not you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So there were 3 distinct parts of the reorganization process. So we had the registration that was supposed to be from 5 to 6, the precinct meeting from 6 to 7, and then the county meeting from, I guess, 7 to whenever.
They used to do that on different days.
All 3 different pieces.
Yeah, but anyway, go ahead.
So it was just the whole thing was very disorganized. So registration, I got through quick because I got there right at 5 o'clock, and there were 2 laptops, 2 people working behind the table. At some point around 5:15, 5:30, a laptop was removed, and so folks were waiting in a very, very long line. The line was so long that certain folks that came couldn't wait in that long of a line because they had other obligations. So we know of many folks that actually left because they saw the line was so long. One voter that came for me for the precinct meeting actually waited in line for almost 90 minutes.
That's ridiculous, especially when there's only 150 people total.
Well, they actually, because my precinct was called, and I said, well, I still have a voter that's waiting in line to register.
So they held all the precinct meetings in one spot.
Correct, and it was.
I don't know if that's legal.
Well, it was supposed to be outside, and there were all these chairs outside, and you had to go find your folding chair, and then the weather was bad, so then they were with their bullhorn out calling different precincts, and it was a circus. It was very disorganized, chaotic, and they were directing us where to go. They told some people to go out and wait in their cars, and they would go get them. And it's like the parking lot's huge. If you've been to the 1717 Dixie Highway building, the parking lot's huge.
Was it the Corporex Center?
It's across.
Bill Butler's building, 1717 Dixie Highway, big tall building?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right across from that weird motel in Fort
Yes.
Wright. Yeah.
Yes. That's a famous motel.
I'm sure there's a lot of famous things that happen.
When we had my hell night in fraternity, and you stay up all night and they throw stuff on you, junkie. They took us there to wash off.
Oh, okay.
But that hotel is disgusting.
Yeah.
Is it still open?
I think so. Yeah, that was the landmark I gave.
Let me tell you about when I became Kenton County Republican Party chairman in like 1990 or 92. I forgot when it was. They told me that I had to be elected a precinct officer first. So they said, you got to show up on this day on Saturday. I showed up at Nicholson. Mary Jane Trapp and I were the only 2 that showed up. And I said, I'll be chairman, you be vice chairman? She said, sure, and that was it. Did you see where Boone County elected a chairman and a vice chairman, and they weren't male and female like they told you on that tape?
I know.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
And what they also did at Boone County is they did it right by actually having each individual officer go individually. They weren't reading a slate. They actually called folks individually and allowed people to vote for individuals, not for a slate.
And that's what they did. They said the nominating committee, and they put together the slate and had everybody vote, but nobody knew what the hell they were saying. And then when you finally figured that out, it was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, this was...
And by the way, how could they say the voice vote for the executive committee members after the officers was yay? Because it was clearly the voice vote was louder nays than yays.
I know. Well, going out to the county meeting in the parking lot, which was supposed to be held at 7 o'clock inside the building, that's what we were told, inside the building, we instead were ushered outside to the back of the parking lot. Somehow, they decided to not use the bullhorn. They had been blowing words in the whole evening, and they're talking in plain voices. Keep in mind where the building that we're at is right next to 7175. So they're talking in plain voices, yelling in plain voices to hundreds of people to shuttle them back to the parking lot. And they're calling out all kinds of things. No one can hear what's going on. No one's checking IDs. They're calling out precinct officer names. Scott Kimmich has all the paperwork, and he was filing through, just calling names out loud. Again, no bullhorn, just assuming that people knew what he was doing. Everyone's looking around going, who's he calling? What are we supposed to do? Didn't care if the people were there. Didn't ask for people to say present or I'm here. No checking of IDs. Anyone could have been in that parking lot for the county meeting, and to do a voice vote where you didn't check any IDs, any credentials, and it was just based on some weird inner outer circle they were trying to coordinate was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Let's
get to the crux of it. What is it that you most dislike, your organization and the people that appeared? And by the way, it's my understanding that it was not just Make America Free Again. It was Tea Partiers. Correct. It was Trumpers.
And
average Joe citizens.
Average Joe citizens.
But what's the crux of the issue that you have with the local Republican establishment?
We just wanted an honest experience. We wanted to be treated fairly. We just wanted everything to be done right. And from the moment that we got there, from registration all the way through the last conversation that we had in the parking lot, we were treated unfairly. They were deliberately trying to do everything they could to confuse, to railroad, to be shady, to all of a sudden come up with these new rules. It was intentional, and we could feel it.
The Republican Party establishment in Kenton County they're McConnellites. They're all part of that anti-Trump. There isn't one person from the Kenton County Republican Executive Committee, including Greg Shoemate, who has ever said one public positive word in support of Trump. Not one. You file an appeal.
Yes.
And when will that appeal be heard, or they even tell you what the appeal is?
We didn't get any response back in terms of time, but if you look at the RPK rules, they have 30 days to respond to the appeal.
Then after that, you can sue. Do you want to sue?
We do, because we were treated unfairly.
If nobody else does, I'm volunteering Deters Law. I'm going to tell the lawyers there to file a lawsuit if need be. I think the Kenton County Republican office holders and the county party officials ought to be ashamed of how they treated rank and file Republicans. It's all about control. You know, Shane Nome is a McConnellite.
Yep. Worked
for McConnell. You know, Greg Marmalade, as I like to call him, Shoemate, yep. McConnellite. Yep. That whole organ, McDaniel and the rest of them. And they're making it bad for themselves, because I think they're creating a problem that's not going to go away. See, what they want is they want it to go away. You got to make sure it doesn't go away.
They do want it to go away.
Yeah.
They want us to go quietly.
Right.
And just.
But don't. Keep raising hell.
We're not going to. We believe that the citizens should be involved. We believe that the people should be part of the process, and we don't like how things have been going. We don't like it, and we want to be involved, and we think citizens should be in charge.
I can tell you this. If you were to check with the Republicans, the rank and file Republican voters in Kenton County, they love Trump. They love the Tea Party. I mean, Republicans around here are even more conservative than the national Republicans. They love the Tea Party. They would love Make America Free Again. They're against every single thing Joe Biden is doing to the core. And they love Trump. Where the leadership of the party, they're like, oh, you know, they want to run from him. And it makes me so freaking mad.
Our people are mad too, and we just want to be involved and we want to do the right thing. We're not looking for stuff to do. We all have jobs. We're all successful.
You're like Cincinnatus, you're citizen soldiers.
Exactly. We feel like it's our duty in order to make this right and to not go down and be on the road to ruins. We have to step up and we have to say no more. Enough is enough. We need to be involved, and the citizens are supposed to be doing this. If
you keep it up and stay at it, even if a legal challenge won't be successful, you'll be successful at the next organizational meeting. And that's when you got to nail them.
Well,
and Scott Kimmick is a joke. You know, when I see Scott Kimmick being sent out there as the henchman, you know, like he's of the Republican Party, when you look at his background, especially in Grant County,
yep.
He's a disgusting human being. Yep. And here he is in this Me Too time period, see? Scott Kimmick shouldn't be allowed near the Republican Party Executive Committee.
I know.
And he's a member.
I know. Well, he was doing everything he could, again, to railroad. I mean, we clearly, the one thing you don't see on the video, it's like 1 second before the video starts, like between 8:25 p.m. and 8:26 p.m., the slate of officers, again, not individually read, the slate of party officers was read, and I raised my hand and yelled, I want to vote nay, and he said, that happens later, you'll get a chance to do that.
Right, complete lie, a fraud.
And so it was like, oh, okay, well, he heard what I said, and we're going to get a chance to do that. And that's why all of a sudden, when the video starts, you hear everybody going, what?
Right.
What in the heck? Because it was like you just said.
Right.
So it was just.
This is a meeting.
It was
terrible. It's not the way you should treat your own.
It was low down.
Yeah. Well, you keep up the fight. I'll do anything and everything I can to help you. Whenever you have information, we'll share it.
Okay, that's awesome.
Because you know what? Local news doesn't cover anything unless it's woke.
I know.
Isn't it sad?
It's very sad.
I am blown away that the Cincinnati Enquirer, WLW, 5, 9, 12, and 19, have not covered this controversy.
I know.
That blows me away.
I know. Well, we actually had people have reached out to Fox 19 and River City News, and we haven't heard from them yet.
Shame on you, Tricia. Shame, shame, shame.
Yep. And then one other thing I want to tell you. I actually had a member of the KCRP contact one of my family members before the reorg meeting, wanting to kind of know more about what I was doing and what I was planning and you know, who did I think I was and blah, 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 all this
Who do you think you are trying to be a citizen?
And so I'm just like, I had, you know, so that was.
How dare you challenge the Republicans?
This has been a shock to a lot of people's systems. We heard from a lot of folks that have done this before, you know, 4 years ago, 8 years ago, the different reorg meetings. We heard it was going to be bad. What happened on June 3rd was nothing that I could have ever imagined.
All the liberty lovers have control in Boone County. You just got to get control in Kenton County.
I know.
It'll happen.
Well, they did.
Thanks for coming in.
Boone County had a great meeting. Thanks for having me, Eric.
All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll have another great interview for you soon. Thank you for coming in.